हेलो, कैन यू हियर मी? हेलो। ओके, आवाज आ रहा है ठीक से? ओके, देन विल स्टार्ट। ओके। Okay, the topic that is going on is CSOM, that is chronic suppurative otitis media. Okay, briefly I will revise it again. Okay, CSOM, the predisposing factors for CSOM are ASOM that fails to clear and persists as CSOM. Then second one was acute necrotic otitis media, which is the commonest cause of chronic otitis media. Then third one is large tympanic perforation, and fourth one is retraction. These are the causes, etiological factors. Then this CSOM, it is divided into two parts, that is benign or tubotympanic and chronic or aticointral type. Okay, so this benign type where there is perforation is at, where is the perforation in benign type? Hello, perforation in benign is in, बोलो, आवाज आ रहा है ना? हेलो, आवाज येतोय का? हेलो, प्लीज रिप्लाय. आवाज येतोय का? हेलो. हां, मग बोला. परफोरेशन कुठे असतं बेनाइन मध्ये? Okay, in benign type there is central perforation of the ear, while in dangerous or aticointral, perforation is in attic or there is marginal perforation. Okay, the benign is limited only to the middle ear cleft, that is tympanum and eustachian tube, and there are no complication in benign type, while in dangerous or in aticointral there is formation of cholesteatoma, and it may spread beyond the middle ear, and that will lead to some life threatening complications. Okay, then we have seen the pathology of CSOM according to the type. That is, in benign type there will be necrosis where there is poor blood supply, like in eardrum, in the middle, that is handle of malleus gets destroyed because of poor blood supply. Then the ossicular chain gets disturbed because of necrosis, and where there is poor blood supply, that is at the tip of handle of malleus or incudostapedial joint and long process of incus. These three places, there will be, in these three places there will be destruction or necrosis. Okay, then what about the mastoid bone? There will be sclerosis, that is hardening, and also there is polyp formation, which is a rare condition. Polyp is because of prolapse of middle ear mucosa. Okay, and in dangerous type it is, um, there is a cholesteatoma formation. In dangerous type or in aticointral type there will be formation of cholesteatoma, and cholesteatoma is nothing but a sac which is lined by keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. Okay, it is a sac which is lined by keratinized stratified squamous epithelium in the middle ear cleft, and it contains desquamated epithelium. And that epithelium, desquamated epithelium, is arranged like onion skin layers. Okay, and this the mass, that is cholesteatoma, is soft. uh, it is having toothpaste like consistency, and it has a great destructive power. Okay, it destructs the surrounding bones also. So this is called as non malignant bone destroying disease of the ear. Okay, then we have seen the types of cholesteatoma, which is congenital and acquired. Congenital is rare, and acquired contains primary and secondary. In primary, we have seen the retraction pockets formation, and in secondary type, there is how the cholesteatoma is formed, that is by migration and by metaplasia. Okay. The next point is formation of cholesteatoma. How the cholesteatoma will form. Okay, okay, we have seen how the stratified squamous epithelium will reach to the middle ear cavity. Okay, as the stratified squamous epithelium reach, hello, as the stratified squamous epithelium reaches to the middle ear, the superior or the covering layer of epithelium that will keep on desquamating. Okay, the superficial or covering layer of that will start desquamating, and the debris is collected in the middle ear. Once again, I will repeat, the stratified squamous epithelium, as it reaches to the middle ear, the superficial or the covering layer of that epithelium that will keep on desquamating. Okay, desquamation होता रहता है epithelium का, and that's why that desquamated epithelium, that means the debris that is collected into in the middle ear, and this process, that is this process of desquamation, is the continuous process, and therefore layer after layer desquamated epithelium collects in the middle ear cavity in onion skin like manner. Okay, then there may be secondary infection by gram negative bacillus of skin like beta proteus or beta pyosinus or E. coli or Staphylococcus aureus, and that these bacteria will infect the desquamated epithelium, and there will be discharge from the ear. These layers of desquamated skin form cholesteatoma, and this cholesteatoma appears like white flakes. Okay, have you understood the formation of cholesteatoma? How the cholesteatoma forms? ओके, स्क्रीन दिख रहा है सब ना पूरा अच्छे से? हाँ, तो we have seen how the sorry stratified squamous epithelium that will reach to the middle ear. Okay, it is by migration or by metaplasia or by retraction pockets formation. Okay, stratified squamous epithelium middle ear में पहुंच जाता है, मतलब middle ear cavity is lined by म्यूकस मेम्ब्रेन, म्यूकोजल लाइनिंग होता है, लेकिन it is converted into stratified squamous epithelium by migration or by metaplasia because of perforation. Okay, so when it reaches the stratified squamous epithelium, when it reaches to the middle ear, the superficial layer of that epithelium or the covering layer of that epithelium, it keeps on desquamating. desquamation होता है उसका, स्किन निकल जाता है, उसको बोलते हैं desquamation. Okay, so that desquamated epithelium that keeps on collecting in the cavity, middle ear cavity. Okay, and that collected debris that is collected into the middle ear cavity, and this desquamation is the continuous process. Continuously that superficial layer keeps on desquamating, and therefore layer after layer desquamated epithelium that is collected in onion skin like manner. कांद्याला जसे वरचे कवर्स असतात तसं ते एकावर एक असे थर साठले जातात त्याचे. That means layer after layer the desquamated epithelium collected into the middle ear cavity like onion. Okay, and there as there is collection of debris, that debris may get secondarily infected by some gram negative bacillus of skin like Bacillus proteus, Bacillus pyosinus, or E. coli, or Staphylococcus aureus. All these organisms may infect that desquamated epithelium. Okay, and as the infected as the that debris is infected, there will be discharge that is formed in the middle ear cavity. That is this that is called as the collected material along with all those discharges will, that is called as cholesteatoma. Okay, and this cholesteatoma appears like white flakes. Okay, is it okay? कळालं का? Okay, now the destruction by cholesteatoma. Next point is destruction by the cholesteatoma. This cholesteatoma gradually destroys the surrounding bone by the process of atrophy and by enzymatic necrosis. Okay, from attic it enters into antrum of mastoid through the adytes to antrum. Mastoid antrum में भी जाता है वो सब cholesteatoma, the desquamated epithelium. uh, First it is present in attic, that is upper part of the middle ear cavity, and that may enter into the mastoid antrum through the adytes to antrum. Okay, and that will cause complication. As it enters into the mastoid antrum, it will destroy the mastoid also. Mastoid bone जो है that gets destroyed because of this cholesteatoma, and as the mastoid destroyed, there will be intracranial complications. Okay, bone destroy हुआ, mastoid destroy हुआ तो that may lead to intracranial complication, the life threatening complications. Okay, okay, the mislead this is the cholesteatoma is a misleading name as it is not a tumor. It can be described as a skin in the wrong place. Epithelial layer होता है ना स्किन को, that epithelium, the middle ear mucosa is converted to epithelial layer, and that's why there will be cholesteatoma formation. That means the cholesteatoma can be described as skin in the wrong place. Okay, and this cholesteatoma, it causes destruction of ear ossicles also partially, or it may completely destroy or destruct the ear ossicles also. Okay, any difficulty in cholesteatoma? Hello, any difficulty? बोलो, क्या कर रहे हो तुम लोग? चाय वगैरह पी रहे हो क्या अभी? तो लेक्चर ही सुन रहे हो ना, तो रिप्लाई फास्ट. Any A difficulty. Is there any difficulty in cholesteatoma? Okay, if there is any difficulty, later on you can ask me personally. Okay, if नहीं समझ में आ रहा है तो बोलो. Hmm? Okay, next we'll see the symptoms of CSOM. So first symptom is obviously there will be otorrhea. That is, otorrhea means what? What is otorrhea? Okay, discharge from ear is otorrhea. Okay, in dangerous type, the discharge will be continuous. Okay, in dangerous or aticoenteral type, there will be the discharge which is continuous, that is purulent. The discharge is foul smelling. It is yellowish, brownish, or greenish color, and it may be blood stained because of granulations. The discharge may be scanty and it is not affected by upper respiratory tract infection. Okay, the discharge in dangerous type. Okay, then in a benign type, the discharge is intermittent. It is mucopurulent or purulent discharge. Then there is foul smelling. It may be white or yellow colored, and there is the bleeding is uncommon. While in dangerous type, there is bleeding, blood stained discharge is present, and the discharge in benign type is copious, while discharge of dangerous type there is scanty discharge. Okay, and the discharge is affected with upper respiratory tract infection in benign type, while the discharge, that is otorrhea, is not affected in URTI, not affected by URTI in dangerous type. This is otorrhea, that is discharge from the ear. Next symptom is deafness. There is mild to moderate conductive deafness. As this disease is limited to middle ear, there will be conductive deafness, that is, conduction is at fault. So, there is mild to moderate conductive deafness, and it may become severe if it spreads to the labyrinth, or when there is a spread, it may spread into mastoid antrum, then it may become severe, or when the disease spreads to labyrinth also, and that may also cause sensory neural deafness. Okay, so in dangerous type, the infection may spread to the labyrinth also, and patient will get sensory neural deafness. So both the types of deafness, that is conductive as well as sensory neural deafness, is found in dangerous type, while in benign type there is more mild to moderate conductive deafness. Okay, the next symptom is earache, that is pain in the ear. This is in uncomplicated chronic CSOM, so chronic otitis media. It is free from earache. The uncomplicated CSOM is free from earache. The earache is caused by the complications, like if acute otitis media supervening the chronic otitis media, then there will be pain, or when there is acute otitis externa, then there will be pain, and if there is spread of infection to the mastoid, and that may cause mastoiditis, or when it spreads to in the cranium and it will cause intracranial complications, then there will be earache. Okay, in uncomplicated CSOM, there will be no pain. The next symptom is tinnitus. What is tinnitus? Ear. Okay, So this is the tinnitus may be present in CSOM. Next symptom is giddiness. What is giddiness? Giddiness क्या है? Okay, it is present because of labyrinthitis. If infection spread to labyrinth, that is in the inner ear, then there will be giddiness. Okay, then there will be bleeding also. The blood stain discharge occur because of granulations or polyp formation in dangerous type. There may be a blood stain discharge in dangerous CSOM. Okay, then last symptom is swelling in mastoid region, that is because of mastoid abscess that is seen in dangerous type. The pinna is pushed outward, downward and forward. That is called as erection of pinna. Because of mastoid abscess, the pinna is erected, okay, and the direction will be outward, downward and forward. So these are the symptoms of CSOM: otorrhea, deafness, earache, tinnitus, giddiness, bleeding and swelling in the mastoid region. Okay. Now the signs. Signs are, first one is perforation. Perforation when it is marginal or perforation when it is in attic, then it is because of, it may lead to dangerous CSOM. Okay. Perforation associated with cholesteatoma and with foul smelling discharge and white flakes that is seen in dangerous CSOM. While in benign type, there is central perforation. The middle ear cavity is dry, that is structure of middle ear are visible. The mucosa is pink in benign type, and if it is in wet stage, then the mucosa becomes red, velvet colored, red velvet, and the polyp may be present. Then there will be tenderness, and if the tenderness is present, then it will suggest involvement of mastoid bone. If the mastoid is involved, then only there will be tenderness. Okay, समझलेत clinical features, signs and symptoms of CSOM. Any difficulty? Any difficulty? Okay. Then there are clinical staging. In benign type, there are three stages. The active stage where there is discharge which is flowing. Then there is quiescent stage where when there is the ear is dry, um, it may remain dry about 6 months. And third stage is inactive stage where there is the it becomes dry more than 6 months. In benign type, three stages are there: active, quiescent, and inactive stage. And the dangerous type, dangerous CSOM, it always in active stage. Dangerous CSOM is always in active stage, and occasionally it becomes inactive. So there are three stages in benign type: active, quiescent, and inactive stage, while the dangerous is always in active stage. Patient will always have ear discharge, that is otorrhea. Okay. The next is investigations. Okay, first investigation you have to do is examination of nose and pharynx. You have to detect any septic focus is there, or whether there is any obstruction around the eustachian tube opening in the nasopharynx. So you have to examine the nose, nasopharyngeal area and pharynx to detect the septic focus. Okay. The next one is hearing test, that is tuning fork test and audiometry. that will reveal the conductive deafness. Okay. And if there are complications, like if it spreads to the inner ear, then patient may have sensory neural deafness also. So you have to do the hearing test, that is tuning fork test and audiometry. Third investigation is bacteriological examination. The ear discharge should be examined. Discharge from the ear, that should be examined for bacterial sensitivity, and according to that you can give the proper antibiotic. Okay. The next one is radiology of mastoid. Radiological examination of mastoid is done. In benign type, there is sclerotic mastoid. We have seen in pathology. In benign type, there is sclerosis of mastoid, that is hardening of mastoid. Okay. While in dangerous CSOM, the mastoid is sclerotic, but there is destruction in attic and antrum by the cholesteatoma. In in dangerous CSOM, the infection will spread to antrum, mastoid antrum. So it will destruct the mastoid bone. Cholesteatoma will destruct the mastoid bone, and that can be seen in radiological examination of mastoid. Okay. And the destruction is seen as translucent area with surrounding opacity, that is caused by sclerosis. When there is sclerosis or when there is hardening, that will look opaque in radiological examination, while if when there is destruction of that bone, that area will look translucent on radiological examination. Then next you can go for CT scan mastoid. Then there are some tests for testing the patency of Eustachian tube. When the when the eardrops reaches to the throat tube, then the tube is patent. That is the test. The next one is differential diagnosis. First one is acute otitis media. Acute otitis media follows usually acute URTI. When the patient is having URTI, that is upper respiratory tract infection, patient will have acute otitis media, and the perforation in acute otitis media is usually central and it is small. While in CSOM, there will be the perforation may be central, which is larger, or perforation may be in marginal margins or in the periphery of the tympanic membrane. Then next you have to differentiate with acute necrotic otitis media. Then you have to differentiate with traumatic perforation. Patient will tell you that because of trauma there is perforation of tympanic membrane. Then you have to differentiate it with otitis externa, and you have to differentiate it with non-suppurative otitis media. The next differential diagnosis will be tuberculous otitis media, which is a rare condition where there is multiple perforation and there is pale granulations, and it is painless and there will be silent complications. Okay. You have to differentiate all these conditions with each other. So first one was acute otitis media. Acute otitis media, it follows the upper respiratory tract infection and it passes through the different stages. We have seen in ASOM various different stages are present. Those stages are absent in CSOM. Okay, and the perforation is in antero-inferior quadrant of drum and it is small, while perforation in CSOM is mostly in the posterior superior quadrant. Okay, so that is the first condition. Second one is acute necrotic otitis media. This acute necrotic otitis media may lead to chronic uh, otitis media. Okay, then there will be traumatic perforation. You have to differentiate with this. Traumatic perforation is often with ragged edges. Okay, it has ragged edges and there is history of injury. Patient will tell you there is history of injury. Then next condition was otitis externa. This otitis externa is the disease limited to the external ear only and middle ear is unaffected in otitis externa. Okay. Next condition is tuberculous otitis media, which is rare in tuberculous otitis media there are multiple perforations of eardrum. There are pale granulation that can be seen, and there is painless. The condition is painless. Okay, okay. These are the differential diagnosis of CSOM. Then the treatment part. Okay, when the condition is in active stage with otorrhea, then you have to go for conservative treatment. That is removal of septic focus. That is, if adenoids are present or tonsillitis is there, or if there is sinusitis, or if there is DNS, that is deviated nasal septum, then you have to treat that condition first. You have to remove the septic focus first with proper antibiotics and all. Then next you have to do oral toilet, that is cleaning of canal, external auditory canal with dry cotton stick. Okay. Then eardrops are only advised if ear is discharging. अगर आर डिस्चार्ज आ रहा है ईयर से तो यू हैव टू एडवाइस द ईयर ड्रॉप्स. द ईयर ड्रॉप्स शुड बी continued if ear stop discharging. Otherwise, it can cause sensitization and resistant strains of bacteria, growth of fungus, and it will cause ototoxicity also. So, eardrops are only advised if discharge is present. Okay, the antibiotic eardrops or antiseptic eardrops are advised, and if otorrhea doesn't stop within the 6 to 7 days, then you may change the eardrop. Then the nutrition of the patient should be improved to prevent recurrent URTI, that is upper respiratory tract infection. If there is recurrent URTI, then you have to improve the nutrition of the patient. Last one, that is surgical treatment. If the perforation doesn't heal, then you have to go for the procedures like if the polyp is present, polyps are removed if present, and then it is treated by chemical cauterization or by tympanoplasty. And tympanoplasty is the reconstruction of eardrum and the ossicular chain. The grafting material that is used for tympanoplasty is temporalis fascia. सर्जिकल ट्रीटमेंट कळाली आहे का? What is surgical treatment? Hello. Surgery is required when the perforation of eardrum doesn't heal. Perforation अगर heal नहीं हुआ तो you have to go for surgical treatment. Okay, and the surgical treatment is tympanoplasty. What you have to do in tympanoplasty is, if the polyp is present, you have to remove that polyp, and then the reconstruct tympanoplasty means reconstruction of the eardrum and the ossicular chain. रिकंस्ट्रक्ट करते हैं ईयर ड्रम को और टिम्पैनिक मेम्ब्रेन को with the help of the material, grafting material, that is temporalis fascia. Temporalis fascia, with the help of temporalis fascia, you have to reconstruct the eardrum. That procedure is called as tympanoplasty. Okay, this is the treatment in benign type. Okay, then treatment in atticoenteral, again you have to first try the conservative treatment. Then suction and drainage can be done. If the cholesteatoma is small and large perforation will permit the thorough cleaning. Okay, suction and drainage, that means you have to remove the cholesteatoma. If it is small, then you can remove the cholesteatoma. Okay, otherwise you go for surgical treatment. That is, if polyp is present, then you have to remove the polyp first. Then mastoidectomy is done to prevent the further intracranial complication. Mastoidectomy करते हैं. Or if other procedure, that atticotomy or screen. Screen capture. Okay, screen is visible now. Okay. Okay, surgical treatment for atticointral type is, if polyp is present, then you have to remove the polyp first. Then you can go for mastoidectomy to prevent the further intracranial complications. Then atticotomy or atticoenterostomy is done. The affected portion of the attic and antrum that is opened, and the cholesteatoma is exteriorized. That means you have to remove the cholesteatoma through the एटिकोटॉमी और एटिकोएंट्रोस्टॉमी. ओपन करते हैं एटिक एंड एंट्रम पोर्शन, and you have to remove all that cholesteatoma, that collected debris you have to remove. Okay. Or and lastly, tympanoplasty is done only. This tympanoplasty is only advised if there is total eradication of cholesteatoma is done. ओके, समझ ले का ट्रीटमेंट इन एटिकोइंट्रल. एटिकोइंट्रल में सर्जिकल ट्रीटमेंट क्या करते हैं? यू हैव टू रिमूव द कोलेस्टियोटोमा, दैट कलेक्टेड डेब्रिस यू हैव टू रिमूव totally. Okay. When you remove that total cholesteatoma, when there is eradication of that cholesteatoma, then only you have to go for tympanoplasty in eticointral type. Okay. Is there any difficulty? ट्रीटमेंट समझ रहा है क्या सब लोगों को? हेलो, ट्रीटमेंट समझ लिए का नक्की? देर इज कंजर्वेटिव ट्रीटमेंट नक्की एवरीवन. Okay, any difficulty in CSOM? Is there any difficulty? Okay, now फिर I will end the meeting. Okay. Hello. We'll end the meeting. Okay, चलो bye. Okay. Okay, the homework is homework for the new batch. अभी है क्या participants है सब लोग, मतलब new batch, the junior batch. Okay, you have to write down the CSOM. Okay, in detail. Don't write point wise. Okay, and if diagrams are necessary, then you have to draw the diagrams wherever possible. Okay. Okay, chalo, bye. Bye.